You know what's funny? Us girls, we will be like, communication is key. And then you'll wake up one day and surprise, we blocked you on everything.
Yeah, women's reputation as being good communicators is completely undeserved. It's all based on the false assumption that having your emotions more readily accessible makes you better at communicating. But is there an automatic link between feeling your emotions strongly and being able to communicate them? Let's take a look.
Are you f***ing kidding me, Jake? Come on, right? God, I just f***ing go back. Are you f***ing kidding me? Just listen!
Sadly, for many men in my audience, scenes like this are all too familiar. When a woman is experiencing her emotions too strongly, she loses her ability to talk, to even think. She can't communicate at all. She has no control over her emotions. It's like she's been possessed by some demonic entity. See, I would argue that in order to have good communication, you need to have some emotional discipline. The ability to stand aside from your emotions and to think rationally, to process your internal experience with logic, clarity, and precision. Many women will disagree with that, and we have discovered a core difference between men and women, because I'm guessing you guys in the audience, when you heard me say that, you agreed. If somebody is communicating to you, you want them to speak with clarity, purpose, precision, efficiency. You don't want to hear a bunch of waffly emotional nonsense. You want the person to speak with clear intent. That's what makes you a good communicator, to know your audience and then to speak your thoughts to them cleanly and efficiently. We practice this skill in the Hero Circle. It's the men's weekly discussion group I run. Link below if you want to join. But what we've discovered in the circle is that we're really good at communicating when we're just together, you know, when it's just men. We have no problems. We understand each other very clearly. Have you noticed this? That men don't complain about other men being bad communicators? We get each other. We like our communication style. It is women who complain about men being bad at communication because they feel like our style is too robotic. They want long conversations. They're not looking for clarity and efficiency. They want it to be emotional and validating. When women are communicating, it's less about transmitting information and expressing a feeling. And I will grant you that many men are not in touch with their emotions. And quite legitimately, that's going to frustrate their girlfriends when they're looking for emotional empathy. But that is not bad communication on his part. That's just bad empathy. And those two things are very different. What I would say is bad communication is when a woman is annoyed at her boyfriend, but instead of speaking clearly about what's upsetting her, she gives him like the silent treatment or something like that.
Giving the silent treatment. We talked about this, me and you, Gia, before. You were saying you give the silent treatment. I used to do that too, which is like super immature, but it's like, I don't know, I feel like it's a normal reaction to be like, no, I don't want to talk about things. It means that there's like something wrong and there needs to be something to be talked about.
Did you ever hear that story of the woman who was giving her husband the silent treatment, and the only reason that she stopped is after a week he said to her, "Gee, honey, we've really been getting along really well this last week." But seriously, how many of you guys have been told by your ex-girlfriends, your ex-wives, that you are bad at communicating? But at the same time, you were constantly given the silent treatment. She wouldn't tell you what was wrong. She wanted you to guess. She wanted you to read her mind. So many modern women like to congratulate themselves as being like these highly evolved, wonderful communicators, but I can tell you, from all the private consultations I've done with men talking about their relationships, that is not the experience of women that men are having. Their experience is one of two extremes. One of them is that she just talks way too much. She's communicating heaps of thoughts, heaps of feelings, just like throwing them at them, and they seem completely disconnected. And with so much just flooding towards him, he has difficulty separating the wheat from the chaff, actually understanding what specifically is making her upset or what she wants him to do about it. That's one extreme. The other extreme is that she's just completely silent. She refuses to actually talk to him and say what it is that's bothering her. She would rather punish him than communicate and resolve it. Either extreme is very poor communication. But I do have huge admiration for any woman who recognizes this weakness and works to improve herself.
I think it takes a mature person and someone that actually cares about other people's feelings to take a step back and realize you're not perfect and see how you're treating other people, because it's easy in a relationship when you get your feelings hurt or you're feeling upset to think that your feelings are the only one in this relationship. But you have to remember there's someone else in the relationship that loves you and also has feelings. So you can't be one-sided with it. You have to take a step back and be like, okay, this person, I owe this person something. I need to tell them what's at least going on in my head, whether I just tell them and I say, I don't want to talk about it right now, but this is what's going on. You can sit on that. You need to communicate. It's like you have to grow up. You have to grow up at some point.
Bravo. And I hereby dedicate this video to any women out there who have the humility to recognize that they're not good at communicating, but are dedicated to working on that, to improving their communication with their boyfriends or husbands. And I'm going to give you some tips on how to do it. First of all, women, before you speak, be clear inside your own mind. Why are you speaking? What is your purpose? If you need your man to know a key piece of relevant information, lead with that. Do not surround it with long, rambling monologues about your thoughts or your feelings. That's just going to confuse him. Lead with the headline and double check that he is understood. If you need advice, make that request explicit. Say, please help me. I am having this problem and I need your input. Explain in detail the issue that you're having, why you're stuck, and what you need from him. And most importantly, if you're not looking for advice, say that. Part of good communication is knowing your audience. You are speaking to a man. Men are natural problem solvers. If you come to him with a problem, do not be surprised if he wants to fix it. This guy loves you. That's why he's your boyfriend or your husband. He doesn't want to see you suffer. So if you come to him complaining about all these issues, all of these problems, naturally, out of care and compassion for you, he's going to want to help. Don't get angry at him for that. If you're not looking for advice, say so. Men are not mind readers, and the expectation that they should be is so childish. Him offering suggestions on how to improve things is not him being mean or being cruel. That's him being nice. And if you're frustrated at his response, then the accountability lies with you. You were not clear in explaining to him what it was that you were looking for.
Well, I want to go, but I just don't want to have to put air in my tire.
Hey, I can put air in your tire.
Well, no, I really just don't actually want to go.
Then stay here. You don't gotta go.
No, but I need to go because everyone else is going, and if I don't go, I'll feel left out.
Then go.
No, I don't want to.
Then don't go.
Oh, brother, I feel your pain. In situations like this, women will always say, oh, God, men are so hopeless. Like, you'd see the text that came up there, like, gives dumb solutions. I don't know what was dumb about his solutions. Made sense to me. She's frustrated because she's like, oh, I wasn't asking for a solution. I was just explaining my emotions. If a woman ever says something like that, that is proof that she's a bad communicator. This woman was not sharing her emotions. She was complaining about circumstances. You want to hear some good communication? You want to know what actual sharing of emotions sounds like? It sounds like this. I'm feeling sad. I'm feeling confused. I'm feeling angry. I'm feeling scared. That is sharing an emotion. That is clear communication. Saying, I really don't want to put air in my tires is not sharing an emotion. If a man hears you say that, of course he's going to offer help. Of course he's going to offer a solution because he's responding to what you said. You communicated a practical issue. If you had communicated your emotions about that issue, you would have got a different response. The key to good communication is to be direct, state clearly what you want, be specific, and provide all of the details. And as simple and straightforward and as common sense as that might sound to men, women actually have a hard time doing that. Because as a woman, to be direct is to be seen to be aggressive, to be blunt, to not be feminine. This is why women hint at what they want and they speak with vagueness instead of clarity. It feels safer for them to just go halfway and hope that you'll meet them there. I understand why they do this, and I am sympathetic to the struggle. No woman wants to come across as bitchy or masculine or aggressive. So women do have the unenviable task of trying to find the balance between being clear and direct, but also being feminine and ladylike. But women, I promise you, there is a healthy way to be transparent about what you want, to communicate directly to your man, and to still be be feminine. You can be clear, you can be precise, but you can also be kind, respectful, open-minded. Just because you're being direct in your communication doesn't mean that he's going to see you as some nagging bitch. Be clear, be upfront, be accountable for what you want, but keep smiling, be feminine. A man who has a girlfriend like that will feel like he's the luckiest guy on earth, like he won the jackpot. He's going to have the best of both worlds. A girlfriend who does not passive-aggressively expect him to read her mind and know what it is that she wants, but at the same time, a girlfriend who takes personal responsibility while showcasing her femininity, by treating him with kindness, respect, and dignity. Any woman who does that, then she deserves the reputation that women have as being good communicators.